The full story of Atlantis? When someone mentions the name Atlantis, most people think about an underwater kingdom that was swallowed by the sea. This story is well known because it has been spread around by many different cultures across the world for hundreds of years. But what if this legend is more than just a myth? What if there is a lost civilization out there somewhere hidden beneath the waters, just waiting to be found? With over 10 million people visiting the island each year, Atlantis has captured the imagination of many. So who or what really was Atlantis? And why does the idea of this sunken city continue to fascinate us even today? Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to tell you the full story of Atlantis. Viewer discretion is advised for this video, as some of this video may be offensive or disturbing. We, the makers of this video, in no way support or condone the actions of the subjects featured. We only show them to inform and educate our viewers about real-life events that happened in the past so that you can form your own opinion. Atlantis was a vast and powerful island nation, home to a strong military, advanced technology, and a thriving culture. The Atlanteans were known throughout the ancient world for their strength and skill in war, as well as their wisdom and knowledge. They were also said to be highly spiritual people who revered the gods and goddesses of the sea. According to Plato, the capital city of Atlantis was the center of the known world. It was a place where all the roads met and where trade and commerce flourished. The city was surrounded by high walls made of white stone, and it contained magnificent palaces, temples, and gardens. It was also home to a great library that held many ancient texts and scrolls. In addition to their advanced technology and wisdom, the Atlanteans were also known for their physical prowess. They were tall and strong with golden complexions and red hair. They were also skilled sailors and navigators, and they explored far and wide, establishing colonies on other islands and continents. However, despite their power and influence, the Atlanteans eventually fell from grace. According to Plato, they became too arrogant and greedy, and they were punished by the gods. In a single day and night, Atlantis was swallowed by the sea, and its people were either drowned or scattered to the winds. Although Atlantis is often depicted as being located in the Atlantic Ocean, there is no evidence to support this theory. In fact, the ancient Greeks believed that Atlantis was situated in the Mediterranean Sea, somewhere near the Strait of Gibraltar. There are several theories about the location of Atlantis, but none of them have been proven. Some believe that it was actually located in the Aegean Sea, while others believe that it was situated in the Black Sea. Still others believe that Atlantis was not a real place at all, but rather a figment of Plato's imagination. He may have created the story of Atlantis to illustrate his philosophical ideas about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of virtue and wisdom. Regardless of where it was located or whether or not it actually existed, the story of Atlantis has captivated the human imagination for centuries. It has inspired countless works of art, literature, and film, and has been a popular tourist destination for those seeking to learn more about this mysterious lost civilization. There are even some who believe that Atlantis is still out there somewhere waiting to be discovered. If you ever come across a strange artifact or find yourself inexplicably drawn to the ocean, maybe you've stumbled upon something from this legendary kingdom. Who knows? The legend? According to Plato, the island of Atlantis was first mentioned in his work Timaeus. He wrote that it was a place of wisdom and enlightenment where a utopian society thrived. The Atlanteans were said to be a race of highly evolved beings who possessed great knowledge and understanding of the universe. They were said to be peaceful and harmonious people who lived in balance with nature. However, over time, the Atlanteans became corrupted by their own power and began to wage war against their neighbors. As a result, the gods intervened and destroyed the island, sinking it into the depths of the ocean. Plato's writings are the earliest known account of Atlantis, and it is important to note that he never claimed to have visited the island himself. Instead, he said that he learned about Atlantis from a mysterious Egyptian priest, who had studied ancient texts that described the island's history. Although Plato's account is the most famous, it's not the only one. There are other ancient texts that mention Atlantis, such as the works of Aristotle and Pausanias. However, these accounts are much briefer and don't provide much detail about the island or its people. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, many people have become convinced that Atlantis really did exist. They point to various archaeological findings as proof, such as the discovery of sunken ruins off the coast of Spain and Portugal. However, these ruins have since been dated back to ancient times, and there is no evidence to suggest that they were part of the legendary city. Others have suggested that Atlantis may have been a real place, but was simply exaggerated or distorted over time. This theory is supported by the fact that many of the details Plato provides about Atlantis are either vague or contradictory. For example, he says that the island was circular in shape, but later describes it as being triangular. He also claims that the Atlanteans were white-skinned with red hair, yet he also says that they were dark-skinned with black hair. Origins. The exact origins of the Atlantis myth are unknown, but it's generally believed to have originated in the ancient Mediterranean. As we mentioned earlier, Plato's writings are the earliest known account of Atlantis, and they date back to the 4th century BC. However, Plato wasn't the first person to write about a lost, sunken city. There are similarities between the story of Atlantis and other ancient myths about flooded cities, such as the biblical account of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's possible that Plato was influenced by these stories when he created the myth of Atlantis. Another theory is that Plato based Atlantis on his own experiences. Some scholars believe that Plato may have visited the island of Thera, now known as Santorini, which was destroyed by a volcanic eruption in the 17th century BC. Plato's description of Atlantis as being white-skinned with red hair could refer to the Minoan civilization, which thrived on Thera before its destruction. The Minoans were known for their advanced culture and their unique physical traits, including their light complexions and reddish blonde hair. This theory is supported by the fact that Plato places Atlantis in the Aegean Sea, not far from the Strait of Gibraltar. Thera is located in the Aegean Sea and was known to the ancient Greeks as a sacred island. It's possible that Plato combined his experiences on Thera with other ancient myths and legends to create the story of Atlantis. Whatever the origins of the Atlantis myth, it's clear that it has had a lasting impact on human culture. The story of Atlantis has been adapted and reinterpreted throughout history, appearing in everything from ancient Roman poetry to modern science fiction films. Some people believe that Atlantis is simply a fictional creation, while others remain convinced that it's based on a real historical event. Atlantis today. Today, the legend of Atlantis continues to capture the imaginations of people all over the world. Every year, millions of tourists visit the supposed location of Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean, hoping to catch a glimpse of this mysterious lost civilization. Of course, there is no physical evidence that Atlantis ever existed, but that hasn't stopped people from searching for it. There are even some who believe that Atlantis is still out there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves. The search for Atlantis has led to some interesting discoveries, such as the ruins of a medieval monastery off the coast of Ireland. The monastery dates back to the 6th century AD and was likely used by monks as a place of prayer and meditation. Although it's not the legendary city of Atlantis, it's still an interesting piece of history. Other explorers have discovered ancient artifacts in the Atlantic Ocean, such as a bronze tablet inscribed with mysterious symbols. The tablet is believed to be over 2,000 years old, but its purpose and meaning remain unknown. These discoveries have only added to the mystery surrounding Atlantis and have led to renewed interest in the legend. But what do you think? Do you believe that Atlantis really exists out there somewhere? Or is it nothing more than a myth? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our other videos about amazing discoveries and ancient mysteries. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future uploads. Thanks for watching.